Hello, hello, my beloved waking gods and goddesses. Welcome to Love, Truth, and Beauty. Do it yourself spiritual awakening for divine in the flesh. Now, with replays on IGTV at dakini.kiss, where together we learn how to surf and navigate the ups and downs of the totality of human experience, composing a new earth beyond the limitations of this perception, managed reality matrix of five senses, having discovered our true divine creative natures in our true sensual sensorial universe of seven senses, creating formless into form outside of the matrix. Before we get started, please do give this video a thumbs up. Please also hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, selecting the all setting so that when I upload videos, the YouTube will let you know. I generally upload Tuesdays and Fridays, 2 p.m. Eastern. My name is Maria West, and I am your hostess of the highest, here to download, upload, inspire, and usher you into your bestest and brightest selves, your bestest and brightest light, and inviting you all to open your hearts wider and wider and wider still. Hello, my love bugs, my honey bunnies, my special darlings. Welcome to episode 150, part 6 of our 13-part video series regarding the levels and lessons of relationships from unconscious to conscious, waltzing in and out of the matrix. And in today's video, we discuss the qualities of second-level relationships with its lessons of power and submission, also known as the master-slave dynamics. Once mastery of the first chakra, first level relationship with our planet Earth and nature and natural law and our basic human survival on the planet is anchored, the next level of relationship lessons is based on the second chakra energies, frequencies, and gifts, the creative, sexual center, money center, creativity center, being in the senses in your body center, or Svadisthana Chakra. Humans begin to discover the vast array of power and submission at this level, manifesting it as divide and conquer exploitation within the matrix as promulgated by the powers that want to be. This is about totalitarian domination, manipulation, control, subjugation, and management plays through all forms of physical violence and beguiling means of sexuality, including rape, torture, prostitution, human trafficking, sexual and labor, body parts, etc. Human relationships are no longer focused on daily survival, but on the wielding of power and domination over others who are in survival and the obedience of these subjects. Now, the power of physical and sexual attraction are highlighted, which includes preferences attached to sexual dominance, submission, physical appearance, leadership, aggression, prowess, material wealth, money, status, seduction, the master-slave polarities, and unconscious or automated, fully scripted role-playing as to what constitutes correct and appropriate behavior of man and woman. Now, this power and domination are based on fear and violent subjugation of the underlings as expressed in the master-slave dynamic. Now, funnily enough, this Seven Noints and Chit show has overshadowed so many of these blatant evils all over the world of human slavery and human rights abuses. The dictatorship and totalitarian regime of North Korea's supreme leader, Kim Jong-un, is a modern-day example of a second-level power and submission relationship being played out on a world stage over an entire country. His violent domination over the people of North Korea is astounding in its totalitarian scope, isolating and separating an entire country and people population from the world at large, and remains unchecked and unchallenged. The mind control constructs and structures of role-playing provided in the patriarchy-matriarchy polarities are templates for intensifying the divide and conquer agendas of the powers that want to be throughout time immemorial. Historically, the patriarchal domination over the masses and these men's and women's murderous relationship woes are still topics of conversation, research, written speculation, and entertainment. Take Henry VIII and his wives, for example. Now, the intensity of this divide and conquer program of the war of the sexes, this level has co-created some lethal partnerships of husband-wife pairings, leading to violently imposed sanctions and taxes, also known as theft and human atrocities, upon their own people, the very people whom they've been entrusted as sovereigns to protect and serve. Now, the notion of shared power at this relationship level and its lessons of power and submission is deliciously sexually charged and a dramatic one, especially when you look at the historical relationships between Cleopatra and Caesar. For that matter, Cleopatra was the wealthiest and most powerful ruler in the world when she became pharaoh in 51 BC. Now, when the Romans marched into her territory, Egypt, to secure her safety and remain in power, she became Caesar's lover. And in 47 BC, their son Caesarion was born. After Caesar's assassination in 44 BC, in keeping step with her need for powerful protection, or at least its appearance and promise, Cleopatra then became lovers with Caesar's commander, Mark Antony, which, as you know, ended tragically with their double suicide. Can we say drama? And I would be remiss not to mention King Ferdinand II and Queen Isabella I of Spain, who eloped and assumed power and their throne around 1470. They oversaw the Spanish Inquisition, where thousands were tortured and murdered and hundreds of thousands more expelled and banished. Let's fast forward to the 20th century, shall we, and talk about Chairman Mao Zedong, who kicked off the brutal Cultural Revolution. Brutal. Now, in 1938, he married his fourth wife and former actress, Jiang Cheng, who immediately became his right-hand person and formidable head of power in the Chinese Communist Party. Together, they were half of the murderous Gang of Four. Now, considered as one of the most influential women in history in the 1940s, Jiang Qing served as Mao's personal secretary. She eliminated all of China's political opponents along with its intellectual and artistic creative elites, as well as those who she felt opposed her marriage to Mao. She was head of the film section of the Chinese Communist Party propaganda department in the 1950s, and with a gang of Four, they reigned over every cultural institution in China, okay, with an ironclad fist, ordered mass systemic censorship along with the destruction of countless ancient books, buildings, and paintings, and were responsible for the violent persecution and human rights atrocities of much of China's population. Now, the death tolls from this time are unknown, although to this day there are continued debates as to what the actual numbers are of the total population of the Chinese who perished under Mao and company's reign through torture and murder, imprisonment, or mass starvation. Now, after Mao died in 1976, Zhao Qing was arrested and sentenced to death for her participation and later commuted to life imprisonment. Now, she spent 10 years in prison before she committed suicide in 1991 by hanging herself. She shared how her small landowner father physically abused her and her concubine mother. And during her trial, she said this, and this has always chilled me, so I had to include this because I remember following this when this was going down. I was Chairman Mao's dog. Whoever he told me to bite, I bit. So in the end, she really didn't take any responsibility. She blamed him for kind of lording over her. Now, finally, another example of present day, modern day, second level relationship. Let me quickly mention the Clintons, as in Bill and Hillary, as the present day example of second level power and submission relationship being played out in the matrix system domain, divide and conquer at all costs, filled with lies and betrayal and infidelity and obscene wealth and an ongoing body count. Okay, I just do not. All right, so in essence, the typical modern day example of a second level relationship is the business driven executive or any other type of power hungry authoritarian bully lording over his big or small domain of subjects and his trophy, eye candy, or stay at home housewife, mother of his children. Each has a distinct relating style and the societal role that plays out unconsciously because that is just what the fuck we do, okay? Now, it's better to look good than feel good. Driven by the unconscious masculine, this level dominates and subjugates all others and is highly patriarchal and destructive. It overpowers, overshadows, and controls, while the unconscious feminine receives in return her counterpart's care, financial support, and protection as long as she conducts herself accordingly. She accepts and obeys this dynamic as part of the deal that she signed up for because she's always attracted to a man with the bestest, the mostest, the biggest, whatever, because her identity and esteem and worth are derived from his ability to manifest rather than her own. And if he fails or doesn't measure up, she can move on to the next one, the next man who at least can one up the previous one. Now, these second level women proudly or not so proudly label themselves as kept women or starfuckers. Their boyfriends or husbands are independently, obscenely wealthy and high profile players on the world matrix stage. These are politicians, global financiers, religious leaders, Sikhs, business executive, lawyers, real estate moguls, rock stars, movie stars, and the gurus du jour, okay? The kept woman is often degraded into the neglected wife, sworn to thankless duty, left at home, raising children for years. Now, at the same time, her man chases power, wealth, and orgasms with countless sexual affairs with other women, often keeping at least one mistress or more in tow. As his wife, she tries to keep it all together by convincing herself, it's all right. She has her children and can at least buy that costly Celine bag. You know what I'm talking about. And everything and anything else she might want to buy to help her hush up the mounting rage within from being ignored, betrayed, and feeling so disempowered. Now, men on this shallow level are over masculinized, aggressive, entitled, and drawn to eye candy and the dependable, over feminized woman. You know, the bimbo sex pot with the most giant and fake boobs, pouty lips, at least an obedient trophy housewife willing to play his game by his rules. Now, her payoff is the tacit understanding, though not necessarily a guaranteed one, that she is going to be taken care of. Now, at this level, he has all the power, and he too can trade up for the better wife or more obedient or whatever the fuck else he requires to enhance his perceived reflection of his omnipotent masculine prowess, usually enhanced not by his sexual prowess, but by his monetary advantage. Massive wealth and power and massive accumulation of material objects over others and power over others often substitutes sexual impotence. The woman who submits to his whims understands the bargain through which he will perhaps, hopefully, take care of her and their children financially and materially forever. Fingers crossed. It is at this level that this is filled with compromise because second level women have yet to discover their true natures and value. Their abilities to survive and thrive on their own terms without compromise have yet to be tested. Most of these women end up bitter, exhausted and aged from such joyless, frustrating relationships based on role playing and duty. Love at this level, my darlings, is merely a mental concept to be chased and cannot be embodied. Eventually, after having suffered enough, men and women graduate from this particular relationship role playing shit show of the second level relationship, yikes almighty, and explore a new way, a different kind of negotiation. Okay, my honey bunnies, my love bugs, my beautiful divine ones, that is my speech. I know, right? Yikes almighty. Now, next time we're going to go into the hallmarks of what I just introduced in this new way, the third level of relationships and its lessons of pseudo-equality and neo-freedom, the tit-for-tat style of relating. Okay? Please help me grow this channel by giving this video a thumbs up, leaving a comment in the comments box below or in private. Please share this video with your communities, friends, family members, and on social media platforms you feel would benefit from this content. Please hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell, selecting the all setting so that the YouTube will let you know when I upload next. And if you find value, enjoy, or benefit, or at least entertained from my content and videos, won't you please consider supporting my work through a donation? My PayPal link is below, as is my contact information through my link tree that hooks you up with all my stuff in the different ways that you can connect with me, work with me, support my work, purchase my books. I thank you all so much for hanging out with me, with your participation and focused attention. I really do appreciate it. I cannot do this work without you. So until next time, my love bugs, always act from love, outside of the matrix, from your center screen, composing a new reality, quantum jumping. That's right, all your lifelines, so you can be the love that you are. You can share your love, create, make art, make music, make love, and help me repopulate the true quantum field, creation field universe. Here's to love, truth, and beauty, my waking gods and goddesses. Mwah!